Today we are going to be talking about inbound marketing. I am a marketer. That's my bachelor's degree is in marketing and communication. So I'm really excited about talking about this topic in specific today. But first, I like to also ask you all and to engage with you all in a better way. What is actually inbound marketing? And as you may already know or seen from the meme, Elmo is pretty curious about understanding what you can actually recall about this very same topic as well. So I'd love to also ask you all, if you're watching a video on YouTube, and I'm sure that we've all been there, and so suddenly an ad starts, how do you feel? I mean, if you're browsing through an amazing video or tutorial, makeup tutorial, or even learning online through YouTube, and suddenly this 30-second ads starts in the middle of your video, how do you actually feel? Excited or pissed off? Let me just go super quickly into the comments section in case you want to tell me more about exactly this stuff. I will go more slowly. I will slow down a bit more. Yeah, I understand that feeling. I've been there so many times. But I'm just here to tell you that, of course, inbound marketing is not about that. Actually, inbound marketing is quite the opposite to all those push notifications that you constantly get from even watching YouTube or while browsing through Google and getting all those display ads throughout the day. And of course, they are not going to appear unless you have already looked at certain or in specific product in the past. But yeah, I'm pretty amazed of how inbound marketing has evolved in the past decades and how it can be an amazing methodology in order to approach new clients for your businesses as well. As I was telling, inbound marketing is a collection of marketing strategies and techniques that are entirely focused on pulling relevant prospects for your business to target products or services. And it's quite the opposite to outbound marketing, as I was telling a few seconds ago, because of course, outbound marketing, it's meant to interrupt the user or your prospect whenever they feel attracted to your product itself. And I want to take a pause in this specific slide because, of course, it's not about inbound versus outbound. It's more about how you can compel and how can inbound and outbound can interact together in order to build a more solid strategy in terms of not only marketing, but also sales. So just bear with me. Inbound is amazing. Outbound has its own benefits, but in this, and at least for this practice exercise, we are going to be talking entirely about inbound marketing. And again, inbound marketing is about building a methodology that, of course, will help your potential customer to find your company online. And that's amazing because, of course, it's all about attracting customers through relevant and insightful content that will, of course, educate them and that it will ultimately persuade them into taking a decision or making a phone call, engaging with your customer support team or engaging with your sales team as well. It's all about caring about their pains and offering a path that would hopefully solve all those struggles. And of course, at the very end of the customer journey, they could love your brands as a result of it. Inbound is all about finding amazing ways to connect with your customers and, of course, deliver them value. So whether you're a founder, a marketing manager, or even a sales executive, I think this applies to every single level within an organization and to every single department within an organization, because at some point you faced huge pains while acquiring the right customers for your business. And this applies to everyone. This applies to me even as a marketing manager, because I'm constantly looking to get the best performing ads in order to boost a database, or as a sales executive, because of course I want to make sure that I am solving a pain that my desired target, of course, has, or that I am approaching to him in order to understand if he actually has that pain and how we can solve it from offering a product or a service of our own. Some examples of this is basically that sometimes my leads or prospects are not converting into sales. It's pretty common. My business is not getting enough sales at the very top of the funnel, or at the in this case, the very top of the funnel as well. My website is not ranking very well, and of course, it might happen. But we have lots of content, and sometimes that catalog of content probably is not attracting the right leads for your business, and so many more. So what is actually the magic behind inbound marketing? Always remember that customers don't want to be sold to. They want to be educated. And inbound tactics, or in this case, a methodology, or even a strategy, an inbound strategy can deliver the information that your prospect needs in order to make a phone call, as I was telling before, or to take the decision in order to understand that probably the product that you are offering is way better than what the competition is offering me, and it could be a better pricing and so on. But only through tactics that are tailored for inbound marketing, you can also understand what actually your customer needs from your business as well. And let's talk about the flywheel. Basically, the inbound methodology flywheel comes around three main characteristics, or in this case, three main pillars, which is basically attracting, engaging, and of course, delighting. And this evolves not only for your sales businesses, but also it also evolves around the customer support team, or even the customer success team along the buyer's journey as well. So if we talk about attracting the right people with valuable content, that's going to allow us to build a huge database of prospects that could make a decision about buying your product or service, or using your service, and of course that are going to tell to your friends about how amazing your business is at the very end of the day. It's about engaging and delivering insights and solutions that of course align to the pains that all these customers have, because remember that once we are building a business, is about building a solution that of course is alleviating the pain of many users or customers around the world. So let's always keep in mind that it's about having and delivering this customer-centric experience. And also delighting. It's about providing the help and the support that all these users and also your customers need in order to find success while using your product or service. If we dive deep into the attracting strategies, as you can see, it's like a flywheel wheel, because one basically needs the other pillar in order to make it work, and in order to make the whole strategy work together, and to ultimately reach the right customers for your business, and of course to deliver the best customer experience as possible. When we are talking about attracting strategies, it's about attracting the desired target for your business, and it's all about creating the content that your desired target needs in order to make a decision, or in order to be more informed about what actually your business does for him and how it can make his or her life way better. And that goes through webinars, that goes through building blog articles, building social media content, so that we can better educate and we can better talk about the value proposition that we have behind our brand. And also, as a side note, it's always pretty resourceful to be able to understand how to implement a great SEO strategy, and how we can better tailor through online searching, and also through online methodologies, the best keywords in order to tailor the best target customers for our business, and ultimately get better quality leads at the very end of the funnel. When we are talking about engaging strategies, it's about all retaining the current users that you have, or even retaining the prospects that you have. And through this specific channel, the main outcome that you want is to lower the churn rate, of course, and also to engage with all the pipeline that you already built, but that somehow forgot about the value that your product is offering. So in this case, we have many tools. One of them is being email marketing campaigns, or even marketing automations, because we are all busy people, and we all have limited time in order to understand what a product is delivering, or the value that my product or my business is delivering to my target customer, or my ideal customer persona. So of course, we need to take advantage of all the tools. Marketing automation helps us a lot as marketers, because we can take advantage of all different workflows, or we can take advantage of different set of copy emails in order to engage with our customers and make them grow, and also try to also upsell the very relationship that we have with them, and to keep them and retain them, and of course raise them as an ambassador or as a potential ambassador for our product as well. And lastly, delighting strategies. Basically, delighting inbound strategies are made to support our customers, but also to make them happy, to make them satisfied with the product that they just received, and also to make them feel supported. Because sometimes when we finish the wholesale process, it's amazing. I mean, we got a new deal and we got a new sale. But what happens after they have just purchased for the very first time your product or service? You need to make sure that, of course, you are being a long-term partner for all these customers, and of course to do more than what is required. In this case, making service satisfaction service, and also to understand the type of feedback that your customers can deliver about your product. And if you can listen deeply or in a better way to all the feedback that your customers can deliver about your product or service, is going to help along the way. Whereas for the marketing strategy or even the product development of our product or service. So again, it's all about putting yourself in the shoes of your customers. And with that, it's all about asking yourself a few questions. I'm constantly thinking about, well, I need to sell more, I need to advertise so much more, but how would I really want to be marketed? Or how would I want to be sold to? If someone randomly approaches me and wants to sell me a product, and wants to sell me a bag or anything like that, is it the best way to approach them through push notifications, or is it the best way to approach them through content that he can easily get from doing a quick Google search? That's the main difference. And of course, if you were the founder of a SaaS or e-commerce based company, how would you want to get a financial product offered to you? And I think about this question every single day, because of course, not only of what A55 delivers overall as a value proposition to our customers and to all these business owners, but also how to make better the communication that we have in the company, and how to target better the customers that we want to ultimately attract and to work with in the future. So let's dive deep into some examples of what I just shared. So of course, we all know what is Hubspot. Hubspot has been an amazing company. We use it daily. It's our main CRM, and it doesn't come as a surprise of how they actually started. I just added some of the visuals that you can see of the journey that Hubspot had. At least more than 10 years ago, they started building a website grader SEO tool. And of course, this website grader gave amazing insights to all the users of the internet back then, in order to understand how their website was tracking in terms of performance, in terms of SEO, and so many more insights that the tool can deliver. But of course, Hubspot had very pain at the very beginning of the journey, and they needed to retain customers for them to log into the platform, for them to purchase their SaaS subscription, and also to retain them as loyal customers. And the solution that they came a few years ago is, of course, to build more content around their own brand. They stopped using ads or paid advertisement to boost more the brand awareness of Hubspot. What they decided to do was basically build a content initiative or strategy, and decided to build Hubspot Academy for that specific matter, because they understood at the very beginning that a good way to engage with potential buyers is basically through engaging with them. And the best way to engage with them is basically to deliver them valuable content that they can instantly get access to by free, or if it can't be free, at least they can get a freemium version for them to engage enough in order to love their brand and get them hooked in order to make the very next move. So in this case, I always talk about HubSpot because I think that it's the king of the inbound marketing. You can always go through their amazing catalog and learn anything you want, whereas it's sales, whereas it's marketing, product management, customer support, or customer success. Basically, HubSpot has it all, and it's an amazing way. And it also is a success case that we can also repeat, because they understood, but from the very beginning, that in order to engage with a buyer, you need to educate them first, and also engage with them and let them understand the value that they can get from getting a product from your company as well. Another business case that we have, or in this case, a success case, this is pretty local. This is a Mexican firm, Fino Vista. If you don't really have an idea of what Fino Vista means, basically Fino Vista is an accelerator that runs programs, fintech programs, startups for Mexican startups and around Latin America. And of course, they started out as an accelerator, and they needed to boost more leads, and they needed to acquire or get to the right startups in order to make their annual accelerator run as smooth as possible. And they had this huge pain in which, for some reason, they stopped getting the right profile startups, and they decided to build more content about it. They stopped just being an accelerator and running these boot camps year by year, but they decided to take a step further and also build more content around the ecosystem that they were building already. And that means building content about fintech startups. That means building content about what's really happening between the financial or the traditional financial institutions around Mexico, or even Latin America, Brazil, and other countries around Latin America, and what value can we bring that is already lacking in the ecosystem. And they decided to implement this Fino Vista FinTech Radar, and they have many of these pieces of content per country in Latin America. And that was the best way for them to not also identify all the potential startups that they could serve, but also it really raised up their level in terms of branding awareness, in terms of brand recognition, and how many startups along Latin America want to actually be part of their journey and want to learn from them and want to be enrolled into these accelerators that run year by year. And of course, that position themselves as thought leaders at the very end of the initiative. Another example that I have for you guys is basically Seth Godin. Seth Godin is an amazing marketer. He's known of being one of the best marketers in the modern time. And of course, he founded several companies. He has written lots of books regarding marketing, regarding even how to be a better LinkedIn, how to be an entrepreneur. Lots of amazing content that he had put amazing content out there, but it was all written offline, or basically he was delivering his books, but not through an online channel. And that was his main pain. He wanted to build an online community, but he didn't know how. And of course, Seth Godin has had an amazing reputation for the past decades, but he wanted to find a better way in order to engage with all these potential users or customers for his books or seminars or the MBA as well. And he decided to write daily blogs on the Seth's blog. And what happened is that basically building a daily blog publications not only allow him to either stay relevant, but also to rank higher on Google, but he let him build this online community that he was so keen into getting. And that's something that I can say that it's pretty tricky, because not everyone can get to the level of recognition that some of the in this case Seth Godin already achieved, because he already positioned his brand as a thought leader, but he went a step further and he decided to build an online community. And at the very left of the slide, you will see basically it's all about permission marketing. And I love this blog post that he shared a few decades ago. I believe, it says it was from 2008. And he was talking about permission marketing, and he's talking about why is it the privilege for us as marketers or even as business owners to deliver the type of information that our potential buyers or our potential customers actually want to get from us. And it's all about recognizing the power that the consumer has in order to make a decision, and that we need to treat the buyer, or in this case the customer, with the respect that they deserve. Because in the end of the day, if they it's up to them, and it's basically their choice to get to purchase our product or to talk amazing about our brand at the end of the day. And another key example that I have as of now is basically Gary Vee. I'm sure that we have all heard about him. He's an amazing entrepreneur. He has lots of brands around him. And Gary Vee is also known for being one of the top entrepreneurs influencers in this case of the world. He co-founded Resi, which is basically a SaaS business model that has this booking system for restaurants or high-level restaurants around the world. It even works in Mexico and all around Latin America and United States. It was acquired by American Express. And of course, he runs his family business called Empathy Wines. And this business case goes around Empathy Wines because he wanted to talk more about his family brand, and he found an amazing way of doing so. Basically, he established the methodology of Gary Vee. I will talk about it in just a second, but basically the pain that he faced was that he wanted to make his brand Empathy Wines known online. And he realized that blogging and sending massive emails was not working enough in order to attract the level of sales that he wanted to have per month, or even weekly, or even raise much more branding awareness around Empathy Wines. And he just decided to basically create a YouTube channel. And through this specific initiative, he just randomly decided to talk about his winery, to talk about why he loved wines so much, and to entertain his potential buyers. And that's how Gary Vee started out to build the recognition that he has now on YouTube and other platforms around the world. I believe he has like more than 12 million subscribers and so on in that specific platform. And it's amazing because something that started quite little and something that started with pretty low budget, with time and with consistency and with determination, you can level up and you can create amazing things out of that very tiny initiative as well. And I was talking about the Gary content model because he often talks about, well, you want to brand yourself much better. You want to use the inbound marketing strategy in order to make your brand much more out there. What you really need to know is to put valuable content, but how you can actually put valuable content out there? Well, you just decide to document. If you have something of value that you want to share with your audience, you do a podcast, you do a video, you do an interview. You can even do some sort of documentaries or even a movie. And you, departing from that specific piece of content, you can actually narrow it down and then diversify it through lots of hundreds of really tiny pieces of content that you can reproduce either on social media, either on through email marketing if you want to let know that to your buyers that you have a discount. And of course, you have this amazing interview that you recorded with a customer that's really delighted about the experience that you gave to him. You can also share that through email marketing campaigns, and you can boost your brand through that specific channel as well. So it's an amazing model that he made so much more known out there, and that it can be sure help every single founder out there in order to build more reputation and more brand sustainability of its own as well. As I was telling, I don't want to reproduce the video because probably it could lead us to have more like tech inconsistencies, but just to show you real quick, I mean, this is how he started with a really like pretty homemade video. And that was the purpose of it, just to build more content around his brand, to build more content about his own person as well, and ultimately to deliver a message that could be heard by many people through online channels as well. And let me go to the next one. And this is how he looks as of now. I mean, of course, he has like millions of dollars to let all his following base of how an amazing entrepreneur he is and how his wine brand has been so successful. But it took literally decades for him to work until this point of have this level of recognition. And that's something that, of course, every single entrepreneur has faced at some moment of time, because it really shows us the value of consistency, the value of persistence, and of the value of having an amazing content strategy at the very end of the day. Let me go to the next one. And another pain that I was talking at the very beginning of the slides, that there are several pains that email marketing can help you knock out. And I was talking about, yeah, I need to increase my business brand awareness. And here are some of the examples that I have, or not even example, it's more about the hard data that is behind all this methodology, because it really helps businesses out there to understand how to get better leads and how to get to the right customer profile in order to build a better brand awareness overall. And in this case, I mean, we can see that the metrics straight away from Marketo. Up to 93% of the buying cycles start with an online search. That's how amazing the methodology works. That's how impressive it is, because, of course, people, once they put their money into getting a product or a service, there's nothing that can take them back, unless it's a terrible customer experience, or unless the pricing is not the best, or it's not aligned to what their intention of buying is aligned to. And it's some of the hard data that it can go behind the email methodology as well. I want to be chosen over my competitor as well. As I was telling, by educating, by entertaining, by being unique, and by being the solution, or delivering the solution that you can provide with your product or service to all your customer buyers or potential customer buyers, I would assume that basically that's the best way to go, because you perfectly understand what your customer or your ideal customer is looking to get from your business, and how to solve their own pain points. About the problem of not getting or not creating enough leads in order, because to boost the funnel or your pipeline, and because you have a limited budget. Inbound marketing, as I was telling, is a long-term investment, and of course it's not a one-shot solution, and it takes time to build it up, but it's ultimately worth it, because it not only helps you to brand yourself so much better, but it also helps you to decrease your cost regarding paid campaigns around Google or around Instagram. I mean, we all know that Instagram campaigns are really pricey, as hell, but being able to build content and deliver that content through valuable channels is what, at the end of the day, is going to let us position the brand that we have to its fullest, and to get to the market that we want to reach at the end of the day. About attracting the right clients or users, you just really need to make sure that you are using the right content, and again, the right messaging in place. What happens is that sometimes, of course, you are trying to sell a credit line, but what happens if the company that it's applying to your loan doesn't know that he needs to have like at least 6K Mexican pesos per month in order to apply to a credit line? And it's all about engaging with the customers, and it's all about teaching the customers what the solution your company is going to bring for them, and the value that it can bring to them as well. And remember, it's all about delivering experiences that feel personalized, relevant, and helpful. As I was telling during the flywheel, this talks about email marketing, but it can also be applied to sales. It can be applied to customer support, and ultimately to customer success, because all departments basically they work together in order to get a better result at the end of the day. And it's all about avoiding not talking to the customers, not working on copy. If you work with the marketing department as well, it's all about being everything to everyone, and not having a well segmented target market. Having the mentality of, no, we've always done it this way. And as for example, during the call of growth hacking, it's all about testing. It's all about understanding what actually the market needs from your product or service in this case, and how it can be better applied in order to make your users or customers successful at the very end of the customer journey. And another mistake that sometimes occurs is that we don't make the customer the hero, and in this case, they need to understand that they are the hero and that they have this capacity of deciding to pick up the product at the end of the day or not. And of course, as I was telling, is the huge mistake, or a big mistake that we can all take, is not testing and experimenting when we have data in order to understand better if what we're doing is actually or ultimately reaching the right customer profile, or we should just pivot and change the whole strategy above all. And lastly, well, almost lastly, I love this quote from Simon Sinek. He's an amazing entrepreneur as well. He has lots of books regarding entrepreneurship and how to find your why. I love listening to his tech talks as well. And he often says this: people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And through inbound marketing, just going straight to the main topic, I think that it's an amazing methodology because it let us know what actually the market is needing from us, and how we can better communicate through that specific customer segment the value that our brand is delivering to them, and what makes our brand so unique, and why they need to basically buy our product instead of the competitors' product as well. And this is basically last but not least. This just a quick note of all the marketing blogs that you can start reading as of now if you have some free time at the very evening. I already talked about Seth Godin, but there are amazing blogs out there that you can read about marketing, outbound marketing, performance marketing, and so on. Neil Patel is an amazing example of that. He has another blog. He started his basically advertising agency through writing online content and sending those blog posts to potential customers or potential buyers. And that's how he rounded up his agency. And I believe he has operations in the US, in Brazil, and also in Mexico. And he's another example that you can see at the very end of this call. And also several other resources that you can look up in the future in case you are curious and you want to understand how to better apply inbound marketing, not only if you are a marketer or if you work for the product department or if you work for the customer support department, but also if you're just really curious about learning more about this methodology and the value that it can bring to you as a professional as well. So thanks. I really wanted to make this smart hour as quick as possible, and I will just go straight to the questions because I don't know if I have any questions. But good to see you all, guys, and thanks again for joining the call. I'm curious on how to decide and identify what types of contents are the most effective for a company to create. I guess it depends. It's all about doing this A/B testing as much as possible. For example, if we are tailoring only content for B2B type of companies, I would say that going through social media, yeah, it's resourceful, it's useful, but it can be only applied through, like, for example, in our case, LinkedIn or Twitter, because we know that the decision makers, that the ones that are going to be engaging later in the process through a sales process as well, are going to be found there. Yeah, we can use several resources in order to build more content through, let's say, YouTube, which is an amazing channel, but it all depends regarding the type of customer profile that you want to reach at the very end of the funnel. There's this saying that, yeah, it's real amazing to build content, but don't overload it. Don't try to build content for every single customer persona that you have. Just try to stick to a method and see if it works. And if this method works in terms of content marketing and in terms of content creation and in terms of delivering value to all these customer personas, then it seems to me that it's working perfectly. And just start by doing tiny initiatives and just try to build up for there. Because if you start really big and you start building content for every single channel available out there, I think it's going to get pretty chaotic. And that's how the Gary Vee method comes to place again. You just really need to choose the type of content that you want to deliver, if it's through video, if it's through phone interviews, if it's through doing blog posts, and just stick to that for a reasonable period of time in order to see if it's working. And if it's not working, then you can actually move on and try a different initiative in terms of building this content as well. Well, I think we're pretty much good to go. I don't know if you have like any other questions, but I really appreciate the fact that you took a few minutes of the very end of the day to join me during the call, and thanks again for joining.